This is The View with Catherine Chang. Today's topic is the busy Easter of Taiwan and China. How's your Easter vacation? Fine, I hope. As to Taiwan, it has been very busy. Not just busy with the battle of coronavirus, but also busy with the military maneuvers. During the Easter weekend, Chinese aircraft carrier Liaoning, U.S. EP-3 aircraft, and Taiwan's battleship are all on mission. The Taiwan Strait, the East China Sea, and the Bashi Channel looks like in a serious traffic jam. Of course, it's just a metaphor. I would like to say, think about if you're looking at Taiwan, we will talk about on the east side, the west side, and the south side. In the east of Taiwan, Chinese aircraft carrier Liaoning passed the Bashi Channel, headed toward the South China Sea on Saturday. Taiwan's 16A battleship was sailing from the Su'ao Harbor, which is located in the north of Taiwan. Second, we look at the west of Taiwan, which is the Taiwan Strait, between China and Taiwan. There's a strait over here. The Taiwan Strait, USS Barry passed through it. And in the south of Taiwan, Bashi Channel, the U.S. Army sent RC-135 on Friday, EP-3 on Saturday, and P-3C today. Wow, you can see how so many military actions. The spokesperson of People, talking about the Army, the People's Liberation Army of China, responded that the aircraft carrier Liaoning is on its annual routine. However, we believe there must be some reason behind it. First, USS Roosevelt has more than 550 people on board the infected coronavirus. People are afraid that China will have further military actions. Second, Taiwan achieved much success on dealing with the pandemic. Taiwan donated masks, trying to reach every corner in the world and receive compliments and recognitions from the EU and from the States. Yet China is afraid that these might affect their One China policy. Therefore, the moving of the aircraft carrier Liaoning sometimes show a sense of threat. And thirdly, this is the week that Donald Trump will decide whether to put the 100 million funds for WHO on hold. So all these circumstances made Taiwan a little bit busy during the Easter. But should we be afraid of military conflicts? Well, I don't think so. Of course, like what President Tsai said during her interview with the BBC right after she got re-elected. She said, you cannot exclude the possibility of war at any time. But the thing is that you have to get yourself prepared and develop the ability to defend yourself. She also said that invading Taiwan is something that is going to be very costly for China. Taiwan is different from China. Well, all my friends from it doesn't matter where you are, maybe you're in Taiwan, maybe you're in China or in Africa or Argentina or America. I would like to explain to you a little story between China and Taiwan. Of course, it's a long story, but I will make it short. Taiwan is different from China. What we call ROC, Republic of China. Republic of China, we call ourselves Republic of China on Taiwan. This is not PRC. PRC is People's Republic of China. And we just call ourselves Taiwan. And let me tell you about the story. The Republic of China, ROC, was one of the founding members of the United Nations in 1942 and also one of the 5 permanent members of the Security Council until 1971. And what happened? Because there was a civil war in China fought between the KMT government and the Communist Party. And Chiang Kai-shek unfortunately lost the war and was defeated and moved to Taiwan in 1949. So at that time, even at that time, Taiwan is still one of the members in the UN until 1971. So you can see why we say ROC Taiwan is different from PRC. So this is why people will feel the tension between us, like China and Taiwan. Did you listen to Italian classical singer Bocelli? Bocelli gave a moving Easter concert from an empty cathedral in a bid to inspire hope to fight coronavirus. He performed the beautiful songs such as Ave Maria and Amazing Grace, reminding us the importance of humanity, freedom, and peace. Here are the top stories for today. Today, we have 0 confirmed cases. That is good. And let us take a look at this article by Forbes. It wrote, what do countries with the best coronavirus responses have in common? They said women leaders. As Taiwanese, you can say that among these leaders, I am very happy to see that our President Tsai Ing-wen is among them. And among the first and the fattest moves was Tsai Ing-wen's in Taiwan. Back in January, at the first sign of a new illness, she introduced 124 measures to block the spread without having to restore the lockdowns that have become common elsewhere. And she is now sending 10 million face masks to the U.S. and Europe. And then CNN has called President Tsai among the world's best response, keeping that the epidemic under control, still reporting only 6 deaths. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy expressed his thanks to Taiwan government and its people after receiving the first batch of the 100,000 medical masks from Taiwan. And that's what he said. He said, thanks to the government of Taiwan, we got the mask, and another 200,000 will soon be on their way to Ambassador Li Xu and the people of Taiwan. We cannot thank you enough. And also, I want to see the Texas Secretary of State also post on the Twitter to thank Taiwan. She said, today, on behalf of Secretary of State, Governor Greg Abbott, and the State of Texas Secretary Hughes, thanks Taiwan in Houston for the donation of 100,000 medical face and also sent it to Texas. On the contrary, we know that Chinese masks have caused chaos in the globe. The managing director of Finland National Emergency Supply Agency, what happened to him? Because he really had this problem. He bought all these masks from China, and he admitted that he spent like 10 million euro on medical masks that were not up to hospital standards, and also they cannot use it. So I will talk about this, and this is what we have. Now, we were donating, we are helping, but on the other hand, we have some critical issue in Taiwan, talking about changing name. Changing name, and this is discussion about whether Taiwan should change the name on the passport. What I mean change, don't worry about it. It's not really actually literally change the name. I'm talking about the translation will be changing, and also the China Airlines. And as to this, majority of Taiwanese support replacing the name of the passport from Republic of China to Taiwan. You can see here, we have, this is a passport. Here, Republic of China is here, and this is Taiwan. Because, some people said that when they travel, due to the coronavirus, people, when they see the China, they thought you're from China, but actually you're not. So the MOFA deputy spokesperson, Oh Jang-an, she said, in the future, if the legislator reaches a bipartisan consonance on the same change, the ministry will cooperate and proceed accordingly. Oh, except for this, we talk about the China Airlines. What happened to China Airlines? Because Taiwan donates masks around the world, but some of the country thought that this is from China. What happened? Because China Airlines, they want to promote their company. So they put a clothes here. Here is the logo, China Airlines. So people misunderstand it as this is from China. But actually it's not. It's from Taiwan. So our Executive Yuan Premier Su Zhenchang said, stay out of this. He said, your duty is just to deliver masks. Don't do things like that. Don't have to do any propaganda or commercial advertisement for China Airlines. And here's the exciting news. World's first professional baseball game of 2020, because all the world is fighting against COVID-19, so nobody have the game. But in Taiwan, we had it. No fans were allowed in the 20,000-seater stadium, but the New York Times really wrote an entire article on it. But one of the game was mistaken by saying that the game was in China, but actually now it is in Taiwan. So now we have to say China and Taiwan, we are different. And we want to say that thank you to Channel 26 from Argentina. Well, it's out of the blue because one of the fans from our Facebook sending this message to me, and they said that they have this show and they're talking about Tedros and quoted from The View with Catherine Chang. I don't understand Spanish, but I know that you're talking about this. So it's like for us, it's like how we say that people should get together and we should communicate with each other, and the global community share opinion without boundaries. That's what we want to do. Let's talk about and look at the interesting meme. We always have some meme for you. This is like blinding by Beijing, Eric Zhou, an illustrator from Hong Kong, posted on his Facebook an image of Tendrils speaking with the Chinese Communist Party, surgical mask on his eyes, and still wearing his glasses on the outside of the mask, mocking Tendrils is blind face in Beijing. Now, and there's other news talking about our people from Wuhan. Now, 214 Taiwanese from Wuhan released from quarantine today. And these people return home on March 29 on a similar charter flight. And they complete their 14-day quarantine and went home. Good job, Taiwan. Also, I would like to mention, if you really are interested in a mask problem or mask factory in Taiwan, I would say that CCC head Chen Shizhong said that Taiwan will extend its ban on export of surgical masks and continue this kind of a requisition until the end of June. I have a letter for you. This is a letter from one of our high school students from Yilan Luodong High School. And he is 16 years old. Of course, the letter is to Tendril, and he wrote it in Mandarin, in Chinese, but I would like to translate it into English. This is a letter to WHO Director General Tendrils from a high school student in Taiwan. He said, "May I ask you a question, Mr. Tendrils? Who exactly are you pointing your fingers at? It has been 4 months since the outbreak, and I heard no one saying black or Negro. Indeed, not even one comment on that." And he said, Taiwan is a democratic country, and we open our arms to every culture and race. Taiwanese people are well known for our kindness. Your accusations are baseless. And furthermore, he wrote, "It's not just Taiwan that is dissatisfied. What you said and what you performed during this pandemic is the entire world that criticizing you." So this is from this high school student. And he wrote this letter to me. He said, "Well, I want to talk to Mr. Tendril. Catherine, can you reveal it on TV?" I said, "Sure, got it. I will do that. I will be welcome. If you want to reach me, you want to express your point of view, you can always contact us on Facebook, Twitter, or IG." So that will be the news for today. And this is The View. I'm Catherine Chang. I'll see you tomorrow.